Hello, year one and year two. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Miss Fernandez, and I currently teach year three King Smith. So, most of you have seen me around the school, or maybe you've seen me when I've popped into your class, or maybe I teach some of your brothers and sisters. But today, and for the rest of this week, I'm going to be recording some videos to teach all of you. Now, next year, I will be teaching year two Butterworth. So if you had a letter that tells you that you are in year two Butterworth next year, that means I will be teaching you. So I'm very excited to be doing all these lessons for you this week. We're going to do a little bit of reading, a little bit of math, some topic and some art, as well as some writing. So I hope that you guys are ready to learn. Okay, so this is going to be our first reading lesson together. And I have decided to do a new story with all of you just to get you ready, maybe a little bit of for a little bit of year two, and for the year twos that are joining, maybe a little bit of revision for you. All right, so I'm going to start by sharing my screen. All right. So as you can see, today's date is the 13th of July, 2021, and we are going to learn to explore new words. And our success for today, our success criteria is, can we read through the text? Then can we identify the new words? Can we guess the meaning of the words? And then finally, can we draw the meaning of the words? All right. So if you can follow all these criteria, then you will be successful in today's lesson. But before we get into our reading, let's do a quick starter. So our starter is going to be our phonics. And if you can speed read through all of these words, then well done. See how long it takes you to get through these words. These words focus on the sound. These focus on the a. These focus on the s. These focus on the d. These sounds focus on g, and these focus on the o. So if you would like to take maybe 30 seconds or a minute, okay, it's up to you how long you take to do it. Can you read through these words for me? Now, if you see this little alien, that means it's one of our pseudo words. These words do not make sense, all right? But then what you've got over here, you've got the picture and the word that corresponds to the picture. So take 30 seconds or a minute, time yourselves, challenge yourselves, see how long it takes you to get through these words. Okay, so how long did it take you? Were you within 30 seconds? Were you within a minute? Were you over a minute? However long you took to do it, that is completely fine. But now we are just going to go over all of them together. So we have got over here, our first word is ah, So our word is man. Sorry, I made a dash there. They're actually three dots, aren't they? It's ah, man. We've got t, ant, mav, a, g, ag. Very strange alien word over there. If you said agu for that one, that's completely fine as well because the can also make the oo sound. You've got sun, dog, sedge, das. And finally, our longest words over here, we had goat. All right, did you spot that diagram? It was goat. Oct, octa, pus, octopus. All right, then we had gak, and oga. Again, very strange pseudo words, all right? But as long as you used your sounds, as long as you use your blending, you were able to read. I hope you were able to read all of those words. If you weren't, take some time again, go through them. You can always pause the video when you would like to, as long as you try your best and you're able to blend your sounds. If you weren't sure, go back and listen to me do it again, all right? So now that we have done our quick starter, Our lesson for today is going to be reading a chapter from a Roald Dahl book. And this book I used to read when I was in year two, and it's a book called Fantastic Mr. Fox. All right, so have a look at the front cover. You can see over here, probably our main character, who's going to be Mr. Fox. You have got some small little foxes over here, and then you've got an animal over here. I wonder if we'll see and find out who that is. And then we've got a tall, thin man drinking something over here. All right. So, using all of those clues, using all of those ideas, what do you think this book might be about? All right. Have a think, have a guess, think to yourself, what could it be about? Now, Roald Dahl is our author. An author is the person that writes a story. He writes a book, he writes a type of text, okay? And the author of this book is Roald Dahl. Over here, you've got another name. Now, that person is our illustrator. Have you guys heard of the word illustrator before? Okay. Our illustrator is someone that draws the pictures. So Quentin Blake is our illustrator. So he drew all the pictures in our book. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to share the book with you on my screen. So here we go. Here is our book. As you can see again, author Roald Dahl. Title of the book, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and our illustrator is Quentin Blake. So let's read chapter 1, which is called The Three Farmers. Down in the valley, there were 3 farms. The owners of these farms had done well. They were rich men. They were also nasty men. All 3 of them. So before I move on to the next page, here's a picture of the farmers. Right away, can you see what kind of people they might be? The author has already described them as nasty men. So another word for nasty, we're thinking could be unkind, could be a little bit mean, could be a little bit unpleasant. Okay, and you can see right here that they don't look very friendly. So all 3 of them were about as nasty and mean as any men you could meet. Their names were Farmer Boggis, Farmer Bunce, and Farmer Bean. Okay, so they all start with the letter B. Boggis, Bunce, and Bean. All right, so this one over here is Boggis. Boggis was a chicken farmer. He kept thousands of chickens. He was enormously fat. This was because he ate 3 boiled chickens smothered with dumplings every day for breakfast, lunch, and supper. Supper is another word for dinner. Okay, it's your evening meal. All right. So for breakfast, he eats 3 boiled chickens smothered in dumplings. For lunch, he eats 3 boiled chickens smothered in dumplings. And for his supper or his dinner, he eats 3 boiled chickens smothered in dumplings. Okay. Then this one over here, this is Farmer Buns. Let's read about him. Buns was a duck and goose farmer. He kept thousands of ducks and geese. He was kind of a pot-bellied dwarf. He was so short, his chin would have been underwater in the shallow end of any swimming pool in the world. His food was donuts and goose livers. He mashed the livers into a disgusting paste and then stuffed the paste into the donuts. This diet gave him a tummy ache and a beastly temper. So, you can see over here, he used to eat donuts. He used to mash the livers into a paste, stuff them in there, and eat them. Okay? Which made him quite unpleasant, gave him a beastly temper. All right, we're almost at the end of our chapter. So we've had Boggis, we've had Buns, which means this must be Farmer Bean. Bean was a turkey and apple farmer. He kept thousands of turkeys in an orchard full of apple trees. He never ate any food at all. Instead, he drank gallons of strong cider, which he made from the apples in his orchard. He was as thin as a pencil and the cleverest of them all. Okay, so as thin as a pencil. How thin is he? He's as thin as a pencil. And here is a song that the children used to sing about them. Bockus and Bunce and Bean, one fat, one short, one lean. These horrible crooks, so different in looks, were nonetheless equally mean. This is what the children round about used to sing when they saw them. All right? So, the first chapter has just described the three farmers to us. Now, as we were reading the chapter, I'm sure you had some feelings about these farmers. Have a think. What do you think you would feel about them? What kind of people are they? Are they nice? Are they friendly? Are they unkind? Are they mean? What clues does Roald Dahl give us to tell us what kind of characters they are? All right, so have a think about that. I'm just going to go back to our reading slides. All right, and there were some new words that we found when reading chapter 1. All right, so if you can read these words after me. The first word is smothered. Okay, so you can repeat after me. So the first word is smothered, cider. Once again, that's cider. Pot-bellied, valley, dumplings, shallow, and beastly. So once again, just going to read those words again for you. Smothered, cider, valley, pot-bellied, dumplings, beastly, and shallow. Now, what I would like you to do, which picture do you think goes with each new word? So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new words. And I hope I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pictures. Which word do you think goes with each picture? You can pause the video now. You can have a think. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to now give you the definition of the picture, and we are going to see if we were correct. So if you've already got an idea in your head, well done. If you don't, pause the video, take some time to think about it, and then I'm going to go through each meaning. So smothered, it means to completely cover with. So our first word is smothered. It means completely cover with. So that picture was over here. Did you get that one right? Okay, let's move on to our next one. Valley. A valley is a low area of land between hills or mountains. So once again, a valley, a low area of land between hills or mountains, which means our valley is this picture over here. So well done if you got that right. Next word, let's see what we've got. The next word is shallow. Shallow means of little depth. That means it's not very deep. Oops, that's your activity. Not very deep, which means it was this picture over here. Then we moved on to cider. Cider is a drink. Now remember, Bean was drinking cider. It's a drink made by crushing fruit. So whenever you crush fruit, okay, usually it's apples or pears, you make cider. So cider over here. Pot-bellied. Now, I think you guys know what pot-bellied is. It's got the word belly in it. It means a very round stomach. That's that one over there. Then we've got 2 pictures left, dumplings or beastly. So dumplings is a small ball of dough, and usually you can boil them, you can fry them, you can bake them. That would be over here. And beastly means unkind or unpleasant. Now, when Bunce ate his donuts mashed with goose livers, he was quite unpleasant, wasn't he? He was quite beastly. So that is that picture right there. Okay, So I know it looks like a little bit of a mishmash. So if you want to go back in the video as I do them one at a time, it might make it a little bit more clear. But you can also, if you want to challenge yourselves, read through the definitions because that will also help you understand them. All right. Now, your activity is really simple. Can you create a picture dictionary for each of the new words? A picture dictionary means you write down the word, you draw a picture to go with it. These pictures are ones that I have taken. They're not drawn, all right? I've taken them from the internet, but what you need to do is you need to draw a picture to go with each word. So I've done an example for valley. It's a drawing of a valley over there. All right, as you can see, it's the lowland between mountains. All right, so your words were valley, smothered. So for smothered, can you draw something and completely cover it? That's smothered, completely cover it with something. Shallow, of little depth. That means something that has it's not very deep. Okay, cider. All you have to do is draw a drink made by crushing fruit. Maybe you could draw the crushed fruit and then draw the drink next to it. Pot-bellied is a very round stomach. Dumplings, a small ball of dough. Maybe you could draw them being fried, draw them being boiled, draw them being baked, draw someone eating dumplings. And finally, beastly, unkind or unpleasant. All right, so those are your pictures for some ideas. If you can make sense of where the lines were going, you can use that to help you, but I would love to see your picture dictionaries. All right, so well done, year three. If you would like to listen to the beginning of the story again, sorry, not year three, year one and year two. So if you would like to listen to the story again, you can go back in the video, listen to the story. If you would like to go over the lesson again, watch the video again so that you're sure of what to complete. All right. Other than that, well done. This is our first reading lesson of home learning. I hope you guys enjoyed it and we'll continue the story tomorrow. All right. Thank you.